Dear students, so today we are dealing a topic of polymers. This is for the students of open elective courses. These students have taken chemistry as one of the open elective where the student learns a basic idea about the subject. The topic polymer belongs to the a main heading of chemistry in daily life. So we know that the polymers are the class of natural or synthetic compounds composed of very large molecules. These molecules are called macromolecules, which are the multiples of simple chemical limits called the monomers. So we have seen a large number of polymers, both synthetic and natural. All these polymers, they contain a monomeric unit known as a monomer. Polymers are found in living organisms, bases, and they are the basis of many minerals also. It is also a man-made materials. Hence, the polymers are classified as natural and synthetic polymers. Students, I have given all these things in terms of the points. Try to remember these points. Natural polymers occur in nature and can be extracted also. Extracted means they can be synthesized also. They can be manufactured in the laboratories also. They are often water-based. Water-based means they become wet when it is comes in contact with the water. Example, the silk, wool, cellulose, proteins, DNA, etc. These are all the natural polymers which are water-based. Synthetic polymers are derived from petroleum oil and made by scientists and engineers. The example is the nylon, polyethylene, polyester, Teflon, and epoxy polymers. All these polymers are made by the man-made elements, man-made compounds, polymers. Natural rubber is found as latex. So it is nothing but it is a milky liquid from several types of trees. In India, such trees we come across in the coastal area of Kerala. It is a polymer made from isoprene units. Isoprene is a monomer containing the 3 carbon atoms and a double bond. Another example is a protein, that is a pectin. Pectin is a synthetic rubber or man-made obtained by varieties of monomers including isomers, isoprene. As we know the pectin, we know that starch on hydrolysis gives amylose and amylopectin. So that pectin is a polymer, so which contains, it is basically a sugar. Pectin is a long chain polymer composed of pectic acid and pectinic acid molecules. As I have said, these are the sugars. Pectin is polysaccharide found in plants and fruits. When pectin is heated, it forms a gel. On cooling, the movement of the molecule is decreased, which leads to jellies and jams. the students, what you are eating, the jams, the fruit jams, the various other the jams, and also the laddus, which are generally formed from the sugar on boiling forms a jelly like. In all these jelly like the sugars, you have pectin. Synthetic polymers are man-made polymers. They can be classified into four categories. They are thermoplastic, thermosets, elastomers, and synthetic fibers. The backbones of common synthetic polymers are made of carbon-carbon bonds, whereas heterochain polymers have other elements like oxygen, sulfur, nitrogen instead along the backbone, inserted along the backbone. Apart from this, let us study about the synthetic organic polymers. We have 7 types of common synthetic organic polymers. They are low density polyethylene called LDPE, high density polyethylene called HDPE, polypropylene abbreviated as PP, polyvinyl chloride, that is PVC, polystyrene known as PS, nylon, Teflon, thermoplastic, polyurethanes. These are the 7 types of the synthetic organic polymers. Coming to the 4 types what we have studied, that is thermoplastic, thermosets, elastomers, and synthetic fibers. Thermoplastic polymers are moldable and malleable at certain temperature and solidifies upon cooling. Thermosets become hard and cannot change the shape once they have set. These are often used in adhesives. Adhesives are those which they adhere to the substance. They are gum-like substances. Elastomer is a flexible polymer which is rubber. We also have synthetic fibers are created by natural plant or animal fibers, and also man-made fibers like polyethylene, polystyrene, polyacrylates, etc. Household synthetic polymers, what generally we use in the house, it include the nylon, where it is generally in the textiles and fibers, that is in the cloths. Teflon we come across in the household, which is generally a non-sticky pans. So we use the non-sticky pans in the house to prepare chapatis and dosas. Polyvinyl chloride is another polymer that we come across in the house, which are generally nothing but they are the pipes. So for the flow of the water. Polyethylene terephthalate is in common bottles. So we use for the drinking of the water, the bottles. These bottles, they are nothing but they are polyethylene terephthalate polymers. The plastic kits and covers are man-made polyethylene. These tires, what we have in vehicles, these are manufactured from Buna rubbers. All the above mentioned polymers are non-biodegradable. Recently, biodegradable polymers are also discovered, which are more expensive. Now coming to the first one, LDPE. Low density polyethylene polymer are the most common types of synthetic organic polymers found in households. It is a thermoplastic and have ethylene as monomer. It is commonly recycled with the number 4 as its recycling symbol. This means the low density polymers can be recycled. The process of recycling is abbreviated by a number known as the 4. Similarly, high density polymers are also recycled. They are abbreviated by a symbol 2. High density polymer is a thermoplastic polymer made from petroleums. To make 1 kg of HDPE, it takes 1.75 kg of petroleum. Polypropylene is another thermoplastic polymer used in packaging, labeling, textiles, stationery, plastics, plastic parts, the reusable containers of various types. Even these are used in laboratory equipments and also the sound systems in loudspeakers, automotive components, etc. Polypropylene is the monomeric unit of this polymer. It is resistant to acids, bases, and many chemical solvents. We have another polymer known as polyvinyl chloride, which is widely produced plastic. It is used in the construction because it is cheaper and stronger than the metals like copper and the soft metal like iron. It can be made softer and more flexible by adding some plasticizers like phthalates. In this form, it is used in clothing, electrical cable insulation, etc. We also have a polystyrenes. The polystyrenes is an aromatic polymer made from the monomers like styrene, which is a liquid petroleum chemical. It is colorless solid used in disposable cutlass, plastic models, CDs, and even DVD cases. Smoke detector chambers and also packing materials are made from polystyrenes. There is another polymer, the household polymer, that is nylon. Nylon is known generally as polyamides. This was first produced in 28th February 1935 by the DuPont company in his research lab. It is more hydrophilic than other polymers. Hydrophilic means it is a water attraction or solvent attraction. Hence, it is used in clothing. Teflon, or it is also called polytetrafluoroethylene, that is PTFE, is a synthetic polymer of tetrafluoroethylene. It is solid and hydrophobic. Hydrophobic means water repellent. It is used for non-sticky coating for pans and the cooking wares because it has very low friction with other compounds. That's why a dosa plate is made up from a Teflon coating. That's why it will not adhere. The dosas will not adhere to these coatings because it has very low friction. It is non-reactive because of high strength of carbon-fluorine bonds. It is used to prepare containers and pipes which are resistant to corrosive chemicals. We also have the another known as thermoplastic polyurethanes is another elastomer consisting of linear segments, block copolymers made of hard and soft segments. It has many useful properties including elasticity, transparency, resistant to oil, grease and abrasion. It is hydrophilic, that is waterlogging. This polyurethanes we come across all in these rubbers. We use even in what you can say the cooking material. So where we use inside a rubber, these rubbers, especially of the pressure cookers, they are made up of polyurethanes. And also we have the visors in majority of the other equipments. These visors are also made up of polyurethanes. Now let us know what's a difference between, if I call it as a polymer and a plastic. Of course, all plastics are polymers, but all polymers are not plastics. Plastic is a specific type of polymer. Plastics are synthetic and do not occur naturally. Plastic is a polymer composed of long chain linear polymers. Polymers are made up of uniform molecules that are smaller than plastic molecules. The first synthesized plastic was created in 1909 for telephone and electrical components known as bakelite. Bakelite is a plastic. So today we use in various, what you can say, the preparation of the toys, even in the other systems like the buckets, then the household equipments. Coming to the next general characteristics of polymers. Each type of polymer has a very distinct characteristics. Here are some general attributes. Polymers are resistant to chemicals. They don't react with even acids, bases and the other type of the solvents. These are thermal and electrical insulators. They cannot be a conductors. Polymers are lightweight and strong. They are multiple process methods. So they have a multiple process methods. These are made from in this fashion. Petroleum based. All these polymers are petroleum based ones. These polymers have diverse and unique applications. Plastics have changed the way we live from medicine to even in automobiles. Coming to the negative effects of these polymers. Polymers also have a negative effects, like they are made from non-renewable crude oil resources. They give off toxic fumes when burned. These polymers are non-recyclable materials. Therefore, they are difficult to repurpose or reusable purpose and do not decompose in landfills. That's why today a polyethylene types or a lower cost types of the polymers are banned because they are not biodegradable. If you throw such polymers, they remain in the soil as it is. In these polymers, let us study, there are varieties of the polymers we come across. The first type of a polymer is polybutadienes. These polybutadienes is a synthetic rubber. It is formed by the polymerization of the monomer, that is 1,3-butadiene. It has a high resistance to wear and is used especially in the manufacture of tires, which consumes about 70% of the production. Another 25% of butadiene is used as an additive to improve the toughness of the plastics such as polystyrene and acrylates. The polymer contains carbon-carbon double bond alternate to each other. It is made by Ziegler-Natta polymerization. Of course, this Ziegler-Natta polymerization, you need not how it is done. Just you can remember this. It is an elastomer and the second largest volume synthetic rubber produced. The monomer 1,3-butadiene is a petroleum product. Coming to the another type of a polymer known as polysiloxanes. These polysiloxanes are the inorganic polymers. So earlier one is organic polymer. Here it is an inorganic polymer because the chain contains, apart from the carbon, the silicon and oxygen. Polysiloxanes are a group of silicon-based polymers used in the formation as adhesives, elastomers, and the gels. They are also used extensively throughout the body ear, chin, and nose implants for restructuring or reconstructive surgery. It means this is a polymer which can be used for reconstruction of the the organs. Siloxanes are polymeric silicones that comprise a backbone of alternating silicon-oxygen units. It means the polysiloxanes have a chain, that is silicon-oxygen-silicon chain. In this chain, on the silicon, we have alkyl or aryl groups of the organic compound molecules. That is, it may be methyl, it may be ethyl, phenyl, and so on. These are chemically stable and unreactive. They are hydrophobic and have good electrical insulation characteristics. So these are the properties of silicones. Silicones surfaces have been found to exhibit blood from clogging for many hours and have been therefore used for the fabrication of silicone-coated needles, syringes, and other blood collecting instruments. So today we have a tremendous change in the medical field. So all the syringes, needles, they are all coated with silicone rubbers. So therefore, if they inject, you don't feel much pain and also the blood will not come out. These are also being employed as heart balls and as component in kidney found applications kidney dialysis and heart bypass mechanics. So today the heart diseases they say, so the valve is put. These valves are made from silicone polymers. They have found applications in numerous catheters, shunts, shunted drains, artificial urethra, foot joints, implants, plastic surgery, and so on. So the silicone polymers are used in catheters. That means to remove the urine from the system. Okay, so the artificial urethra, you can put the one to remove the, what you can say, urine from the system. We have another class of polymer known as polyphosphazenes. These polyphosphazenes are a unique class of inorganic organic hybrid polymers. They contain inorganic as well as organic hybrid polymers with a backbone composed of alternating phosphorus and nitrogen atoms. In case of silicones, we have alternating silicon and oxygen, what you can say, the chain. Here we have phosphorus and nitrogen atoms. Polyphosphazenes are commonly used in O-rings, that is the what you can say, the pipelines, and also the washers, that is called the O-rings, washers, pipelines, and seals in oil, fuel delivery, and storage systems. New polyphosphazenes derivatives have been proven biocompatible, biodegradable, and also bioactive. Polyalkyl or aryl phosphazenes with the organic substituent can be synthesized via substitution with suitable organic nucleophiles such as RMGX or RLI. So RMGX is nothing but it is a Grignard reagent. Polyphosphazenes act as vaccine adjuvants, micro-encapsulating agents, biodegradable materials, scaffold for tissue engineering, biocompatibility coatings, and carriers for gene delivery. They have a very wide applications. Phosphazenes bases are strong, non-metallic, non-ionic, and low nucleophilic because they are stronger bases than regular amines or amide bases. So this is about the polymers of various types. Here I am showing some slides, so which gives once again a clear-cut idea. So the polymers are nothing but they are made up of the monomers, and the monomers are connected with each other. It may be one chain and it may be a branched chains also. In this I have shown the first one. Today we have biodegradable polymers. So today we come across the food materials where we eat. So these food materials are, the containers, so they are biodegradable. Even in the planes, even in trains, the people what they give, the plastics containers, they are all biodegradable. These plastics in the manufacturing level, it looks like this, like granules. So we have various colored plastics shown here in the form of granules or in small cutting materials. Here I have shown some natural polymer thermoplasts and thermosets. So the natural polymer is coming from a tree. And also we have various examples for the thermoplasts and thermosets. In this slide I have shown polyvinyl chloride which are used in the pipes. We have the various pipes and polystyrene. So polystyrene is made up of a polymer from a styrene unit. Below I have shown a styrene which contains a benzene ring. And this styrene is a colorless material which I have shown there, the colorless materials of shining ones. Here I have shown a nylon. So the nylon, there are two types of nylon, nylon 6 and nylon 6,6. So nylon 6,6 contains the two units, one is adipic acid, another one is hexamethylene diamine. So each unit of a nylon, it contains the 6 carbon atoms in the chain. In nylon 6, in nylon 6,6, we have such 6 types, one from hexamethylene diamine, another from adipic acid. So 6 plus 6 carbon atoms are there in that monomer. Nylon, we have the threads, and also we have the nylon in the form of a small, what you can say, a granules type. Here I have shown a Teflon and epoxy polymers. So the Teflon, so we have a Teflon rubbers, we have a Teflon coated materials. Even when you want to combine the two pipes, the PVC pipes, we use the Teflon tape, which prevents the leakage of the water. Similarly, the Teflon coated materials also are there in the kitchen systems, in the items. Epoxy polymers, we have a Fevicol. It is an epoxy polymer. So these are all the different ones. Now here I have shown how Teflon works. Teflon is the brand name for polytetrafluoroethene. It is a carbon fluorine polymer. The carbon and fluorine atoms stick to each other but not to food or other substances. Roughing the pan surface helps Teflon stick to it. Sometimes chemical treatment on the pan change Teflon touching it, so it sticks. This is how the Teflon, and it is a most stable compound, nothing will happen. In this slide, I have shown some of the preparations of the polymers, like polyurethanes. These polyurethanes are made by exothermic reactions between alcohols with 2 or more reactive hydroxyl groups per molecule and isocyanates that have more than one reactive isocyanate group per molecule. Here, these are the preparations of polyurethanes. These polyurethanes and polybutadienes. The polybutadienes, they are nothing but they are present in the tires. And also various types of the, what you can say, in water treatment or in supplying the waters. So such molding materials are used. Especially these polyurethanes and polybutadienes also we get in the, what you can say, the tanks, the manufacture of the tanks, like we have a Syntex tanks. These Syntex material is made from polyurethanes and polybutadienes. And nowadays we have on the floor the coating with polyurethanes. Here I have shown the silicone polymers, how it looks. So the silicone polymers are also called polysiloxanes, and these polysiloxanes have this type of a structure. Silicon oxygen, and on the silicon we have alkyl or aryl groups, that is the R. In this I have shown polyphosphazenes. The polyphosphazenes have phosphorus nitrogen chain, and on the phosphorus the alkyl or aryl groups are attached. Here I have shown the various polyphosphazenes units. So go through the units. Structure you need not remember. So here the polymers that we use for the various applications this slide represents. In this slide also the application of the polymers even in biological system is explained. Students, go through these aspects and try to learn about the polymers. Thank you.